Hey, I'm Biba, your host to Conversations with Consciousness. This is a space where stories unfold real, raw, and unscripted. So don't take it personal and don't even take it on, unless, of course, it resonates. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and enjoy the ride. Welcome back. Today I introduce you to Sonja. Sonja is a multidimensional hypnotherapist. She's a consciousness explorer. She is a real, raw, authentic, sovereign being. She knows who she is, she knows what she is, she knows where she is within this universe, and she shares that with us. I did invite Sonja on last year, but as you know, we expand and we grow all the time. And in this interview, I really wanted to bring the best out of her multidimensional self, of her understanding of what is this realm and how does it work, and how to release yourself from those old mind control programs. So welcome back, folks. This is the Biba Frequency Podcast, and I have invited back on a very good friend of mine, and that's Sonja. I decided to bring her back on because the information that she holds is invaluable, and it's really important for the time that we're in. And so I'm going to try and do an interview today, much more so than just have a conversation. I'm going to try and put my interview hat back on. It's been a few months. And so welcome back on, Sonja.
Yeah, thank you so much, Biba. My heart makes a little bit of like a jump just to see you again and just to feel the energy we're going to share together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
It's really exciting. Yeah.
It's I'm going to start off with my first question, and these are all going to be intuitive questions, just see where they go with them. Where are we?
We are on the mother planet Earth. Yeah, she has variable names, like Gaia, Sophia, and most people call her planet Earth, but they really do not know who she is, what she is, and what she is doing here in this reality, in this realm, in this solar system. That's where we are.
Okay, so go into this a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I listen to George Cafesalis, and he just is the man who really kissed my memory back to life. And when he talks about where are we, he talks about our mother planet, and you can feel her. But our mother planet is just not just a planet, She is consciousness, she is soul. And the only way you can really feel her is by your own heart soul essence. You really have to jump inside of yourself just to feel who she really is. And you can walk on this planet, you can take a walk outside, but do you really connect with your mother planet at that point in time? That's something most people do not realize, that she is a living consciousness. She has a big soul, and she's right here for you to facilitate your stay here on this planet. She is the one who facilitates your being here, your incarnation, your body. She's carrying you with so much love, so much love. And when I speak about her, she just makes me want to cry, because she's really important. Really important just to answer the questions who you are and what you are. You have to realize where you are. That's where it starts. So I think that is a big message that I can share with the people today, is just remembering what she is. And George, he gave me the memory back. He did.
He did, and then you activated my memory as well of our multidimensional nature outside of this universe through that. So I want you to tell me, when you align with the being of the earth, what's that experience like for you?
Well, I do not have it visual, but I can only feel it. It's just the gratitude that I feel inside of myself that is so big. It's just so much honor and respect that I feel for this being. And the realization, I go a little bit deeper right now, that she also has an incarnation as a human being on her own body. Wow, just imagine that. So
tell me a little bit about she has her own carnation on her own body. Be more specific.
okay, so when I say that, I know that she's a multi-dimensional being, just like I am. That means that we are presenting ourselves multi-dimensional in this whole universe. From a rocky way to see it, it's from the top to the bottom or from the bottom to the top, but I prefer to talk about the inside moving to the outside. It's a different word, but it's a way of expressing myself that I really feel where in this point in time. We went as a multidimensional being, we went into this universe just to want to have fun and explore and to have the big experience this universe has to offer us. It's a big journey, Biba. It's a really long and big journey, but here we are as a human being, multidimensional being, creator beings on this planet. And she's here also. She is presenting herself in this reality as Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. But when you look at her as a multidimensional being, she is Mother Sophia. That is the real authentic planet without distortion. So in this reality, we are all distorted and we have to play this big game in this version, this distorted version of ourselves. So she is really big, a big being. And she has a magnificent role in this reality, but also multidimensional. It's hard to comprehend, right? It's so big.
I'm
But
really
she's
visual, so I'm
yeah,
seeing what you're saying, and it's like glitching. It's like
yeah,
it's huge.
yeah. She's the main character and we all forgot about her. So it's important to bring her back to life in our memories and in our feeling from the heart, soul, essence. Just who is she and why is she here and why am I here? On her body, eating her food, drinking her water, breathing her air. Big questions.
Riding on her frequency.
Yeah, riding on her waves of frequency. Yeah.
I love the being of the earth. I know it intimately. I know it more than I know myself, than Biba knows herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a soul to soul, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so are you saying that the being of the earth is multidimensional like you? So that being of the earth could be a person walking around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you think that person is aware that they could be the earth?
I don't think so. Maybe in this point in time, it will. It will. But there was maybe the recollection was there all the time, but I'm not sure. I never met the earth in person. I never met the sun in person. I never met the God matrix in person, but they're all here because they all want the experience.
It's so exciting.
Yeah. But it's so abstract also.
That's what excites me, the abstraction.
Yeah, me too.
I like anything abstract because when something is easy to perceive, it's never what it is.
No.
Nothing is what it seems to be. It's in the abstraction, is the obscure is when you get to really see something.
Yeah, you have to move beyond the frame of reference. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go into your multidimensional nature to perceive it, so which is beyond your biological makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's continue on from the earth and the multidimensional nature. So let's begin with the heart soul connection. Let's begin there and your own journey with that and your journey with your assisting other people through your awareness of the heart soul connection and what that actually really means and the potential and possibilities that it brings.
You want me to start somewhere where I began my journey?
Yeah, with the heart soul connection.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry, WhatsApp is bothering me, so I'm gonna.
WhatsApp bothers me all the time. I've deleted it.
Yeah, I know you did.
Just for a month.
Nice. Very nice. Good for you. Okay, so I've been on the path of spiritual education and workshops and courses and year training and blah, blah, blah. You know that from me, you know? So at one point, I guess it was in 2021, I was in a big training, a spiritual training, and I just woke up. I just woke up in the middle of the course, the training, and I just thought, what the fuck is going on here? So this teacher, she taught me many, many things, but the biggest thing she taught me is that I had my own bullshit meter, and that was apparently my heart soul essence. I didn't know the name at that time. I called it just my heart, but I could see through my heart and not through the pineapple. No. I just saw through my heart what she was doing. She was manipulating and distracting and, well, make a long story short, she was in the matrix construct and she was working her way up in that construct. And she saw my abilities and she really wanted me to work for her. But then something happened because my soul is a big being and it's very sharp. My soul has sharp edges and sometimes my soul just fires away. And there was one point she said to me, I would like you to run a facility for me, like where people come together and you can perform the things that I do. My soul went like on the break, everything closed down and I couldn't hear another word she was saying. The only thing I thought was run, just go away and run. Yeah, so there were multiple shifts happening during that training and I decided to stay. I wanted the full work that she was presenting and I wanted to feel from my heart what she was doing and the misleading that she was bringing into the class. Yeah, so I did. I stayed and it was terrible. But at the same time, I went on my own path and I wrote the word down because I couldn't remember, but it was the path of discernment. Yeah. So that's also what happened. I really needed to feel from my heart what is real and what is not real. So I was in two worlds. Her world was the pineapple, the chakras, and the descended masters. And the other world for me was my heart soul essence to connect with Mother Earth and the fields of the organic fields, the natural fields, the natural lore, I have to say. So it was a big, big journey. That's where it all happened for me, 2021.
And when you woke up and that level of discernment was just available to you, when you could see the manipulations and the distortions in the language and the witchcraft, really, how did you deal with that? Because that's quite a lot of information to just land on somebody.
Biba, I do not know how to explain, but I went big. I was a really big energy at that time. And I just felt like if I have to eat you, I will eat you. Yeah. So I felt all the negative energy she was throwing at me and dividing people. But I felt so big. Yeah. I needed to be there, you know? I needed to remember what it's like to be on the path of discernment because it's in my foundation. To make the difference between the organic fields and the synthetic fields, it's in my foundation, it's in my incarnation, my qualities, my gifts, my skills, it's in my foundation. So I just woke up and remembered. So I stayed. That's the reason I stayed, because it's gold, right? It's just like the gold that's presenting itself to you. You cannot neglect it. You have to pick it up and own it. And I did.
Beautiful. Isn't it beautiful that she didn't get away with that one?
No, she didn't get away. No.
Using your essence as a vehicle for her story.
Yeah.
That's just so It's just so old-fashioned, isn't it? Piggybacking on somebody else's light.
It's the new age movement, the spiritual new age movement. It's there all the time. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
I think, yeah. For me, yeah. It's all the narratives are there. It's all there.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because but just break it down a tiny bit what you mean for somebody who's never really heard that the New Age movement is.
Well, okay, I will try it at the Sun way, okay, my way. When I was a young girl, I really felt the need to know what God was, just like everybody else. And it's right there in front of you. You can find it everywhere. It's just like a store. You go in and you can buy things and they give you a good feeling. It's like the marking on the outside of the store. Go in, come and get me. So it's there. You do not have to make an effort for it. So in the spiritual world, the new age world, there are all trending stuff, new stuff like the Kundalini that's presenting itself right now. And people go into the store, get the Kundalini, and they live in a bliss. They give devotion to the Kundalini, to the God, to the ascended masters, to the angels, and the whole shebang. So when I'm on the path of discernment, I kill them all. I mean, that's not a good word, but I see them all for what they are. And I didn't always knew, because when I was younger, I really felt the bliss they were giving me. I have nice pictures of that to prove that. When I call in Archangel Michael, for example, I have a really big picture of him and his sword above my head. And at the time, I found it really amazing. It was there. It was for me. He was there for me. He was protecting me. And now I know better than that, you know? So in the spiritual world, all these guys are presenting themselves and give you a really good feeling, but they also want your devotion. So everybody in the spiritual world, I say, okay, not everybody, I'm sorry, before everybody gives me comments about that. A lot of people are really happy in the spiritual world because they are searching for themselves, but they don't know it yet. They really have to get to know themselves and really know who they are. And then you can let that guys in the spiritual world. So I do not go into any store anymore. I go into myself.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So there comes a time when you grow up and you say, do you know what? I got this.
You need to grow up. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And I would be the same as you. I've had a lifelong journey with different beings, and Jesus and all of that, being very close and teaching me everything I knew. But he didn't want anything from me. He wanted me to teach myself. He wanted me to be my own. He taught me about discernment. So there is assistance. When the assistance is looking for your devotion, your prayers, your praise, you're done. You're had. And that's the problem. The New Age movement is about, you go into a church, you get a miracle, and you become a Christian because you think, oh, God did that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a payoff, and the payoff is, So I really understand what you're saying. Bringing back to after 2021, when you got this new level or you remembered your discernment, what began to shift in your life? How did it begin to mold and shift your life?
Well, Biba, everything shifted. I mean, if I look back at my journey, it was a really tough one, like a tough 4 years, 5 years. I really got to know myself. And that's tough. That was really tough because I thought I knew myself a little bit, but I found out that I was just pleasing the world around me. And I was in so much stress. So in that 5 years, I really got to know myself, and I got the chance to let go of everything I thought was real and was the truth. So I saw myself as a vessel that was filled up, and I need to let everything out just to fill myself again, but then from the inside, from remembering information within myself that came free. So that took me about 5 years to feel myself, to trust the information that I felt from what's coming from inside of me, to let it be and to see it for what it was. But you need to get rid of all the stuff you put in there from the moment you came on this planet. And the funny thing is, Biba, because I talked about the foundation, we all have a foundation. And that's such a strong, loving foundation where everything you need access to in your life as Biba right now, for example, is in there. But when you grow up in the environment, in the ecosystem, in your culture, where you go to school, the people you meet, they all want to, not consciously, but it's just happening because we're in the matrix, they all want to diminish your skills, your qualities, your gifts. And so you think, I'm not good enough, I am ugly, I am bad, my skills are worth nothing. So your foundation is still there, but you put on all these layers of who you think you are, who people want you to be. So in the last 5 years of my life, I'm going to be 50, I discovered my foundation again and what's in there. And it really helps me to realize who I am and what I have to do, what purpose I have on this planet. That's the reason why I'm here. And you know, I was in the military in the Navy for over 26 years. And my foundation, I always told everybody, you can take away everything that I am, but if you put your finger on my foundation, I will never allow that. And I knew that as a little girl. This is my foundation. This is what makes me me. And that's why I'm unique and special. And so is everybody else. But you need to remember.
Wow. You're so amazing. I love you. I love when you talk. Maybe you were born like that and a little bit of like almost like 26 years in the military, but you're very specific. It's like you're like an assassin with bullshit. It's like, no. You're like, if I say something, I see the twitch in your eye. You're like, you have such a precision. It's not a divergent focus. It's targeting the natural organic way of life.
Yeah.
Because the overlays are it's so easy to be manipulated when you're not working from your heart. It's so easy to just think that's a real thing or but actually when you are on, it's like you're on your new foundation, which is your organic, real foundation, and nothing is going to get away with getting in as a lie or a counterfeit version of love or light or something. So how did you empty everything out to allow what was innate to come out? How did you empty out a whole lifetime of information?
I just did. I can do it. It's just your intention. Because when you feel it so deeply, it's just like an inner voice, an inner knowing that's telling you to get rid of all the shit. And it's not something that happens overnight. I know, because when you talked, I just realized probably like 15 years ago, I spoke my words to somebody who's deceased right now, but I told her I need to clean up my vessel with all the information that I stored in there. And she said, that's what you have to do. And I just kept it with me, the information that I spoke. They were my own words. And I just realized like 5 years ago, that's what I needed to do. So I knew it all along, but it wasn't the right time to do it. It just presented itself. So I did, because I knew it was the only way that I could get back to my essence, my Yeah, we have a lot of names, Biba, but it's all working from the outside to the inside, you know? My essence is somewhere in the inside of this universe, like my soul. Then you have the inner self, the deeper self, and you have all the aspects of you. So when I speak these words, you know where I'm at. But I have to work my way, and we all have to do the same thing, I guess. Find your way back to yourself. But you need to let go of all the narratives this construct of the matrix made you believe. And the matrix is here just to keep you away from yourself. That something so simple has such a big impact.
So stay there for a moment. What's so simple?
Everything is simple, but you have to listen to yourself, to all the parts of you that are presenting themselves with information. And I know a lot of people see mediums and go for channeling and go for God or the church. I'm sorry, but that's all outside of yourself. So why should you, Biba, tell me who I am and what I need to do to really get to know myself? Oh, you have a problem with this. Oh, I can see a deceased loved one there, and she's telling you this and she's telling you that. No, I say, so that's why I said no. I need to get my own truth, my own information from within.
So you are saying that you have to go inside of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you do that?
Well, that's a simple thing. Okay, let me tell you.
Is it to teach people? How is it a simple thing? And it's simple for you.
No, because I want to share something with all of you that makes it easy to get access to yourself. Because the matrix construct is letting you know that you do not have any contact with your heart, that it's difficult to go inside. And that's the joke. That's the joke. That's all mind control. So it's hard work, I acknowledge, okay? Because we are all under mind control. And everybody, if there's a person who's telling me I'm not under mind control, sorry, you are. So the matrix, the mind matrix, is making you believe that you do not have any access to your heart, to your feeling, to your inner world. That's bullshit. Because we always been in connection with ourselves. It's just this path here, this blockage here, it's controlling you to make you believe that you do not have any access to your heart, soul, essence, to your feelings. So, for example, my brother, it's difficult for him to connect with his feelings. And I say, it's so simple. You just want to be there. You have to go in the mind and move beyond the mind. Because the mind makes you believe that you do not have any access. So it's that easy. We have to believe again. We have to remember again. We have to know again. That is so simple. But we've been under mind control for so long that I'm a little bit rusty, like everybody else. So you need to do the work.
So the hypnosis, the global hypnosis, let's say, the global states of mind control, hypnosis, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That it's hard to connect, that it's not real, that it's my imagination. That's all mind control, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So when you're working with someone in multidimensional hypnotherapy, you can then, when they say, well, I can't see this or I'm not connecting, you're able to tell them that that's mind control. That's very powerful. That's very powerful.
We share the same information, Biba, because when I start my sessions, when we sit in front of each other, I always let the client go into the mind. Just go into your head and just be there, like a small version of yourself. And just stand there and look from within to your outer world. And then you are in the mind, and then I'll create a bubble from the heart soul essence from the inside. Many people do not know what a heart soul essence is, but I create a bubble from the inside around that person who is standing in their head. And then I say, okay, what does your space feel like? Because it's your space, it's your organic space. This is you. You created this space from within. So can you make that space a little bit bigger? Oh yeah, I can make that space a little bit bigger. Okay, make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and see what's happening to your mind. And everybody says almost the same thing. Well, the mind is getting crushed against my skull. And I say, yeah, it's supposed to be. So make your bubble bigger, make your organic space bigger, and then push the mind to the skull. And you leave it just a little bit room to observe. No more room. They can only observe. Observe. And when they do that, I ask them, how does it feel for you? And what's in your space? Let's take a look what's in your space. And then they create a beautiful place. And I said, okay, if your space is complete, because you are the key, you are the organic key in that space. There's nobody coming in. There's nothing coming out, because it's only you. And if that space is complete, if it's in balance, if it's, yeah, I guess, then I let them take the space from the mind, and I, just like an elevator, I push it down to the heart soul essence, to that space, that field of unity. And you know, the elevator usually has one way out, and I say you take the other way out. So do not go to the front, but you go to the back, you go in. And then they took the mind. They were in the mind, but they are beyond the mind, because they now are in that space of unity, in that field of unity. And then I do my induction. Yeah.
That's like, wow.
We have to do it. We have to move people in the mind, because you cannot neglect the mind, just like the ego. It's there, but you have to make sure you're the one in control.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an incredible way to work with people. So you're really allowing them experience their multidimensional nature even before they begin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not like, it's like, okay, this is all a construct and I am in charge of this construct, this mind that, and then you bring it into their heart soul essence. So tell me a little bit about the heart soul essence. What exactly is that for somebody who's never heard of that?
Wow. Okay. Sometimes I just can feel it. I cannot give it any words, but when I feel I'm in the heart soul essence, I can feel that I'm in this field, an organic field. And it's just like, okay, George shows this one. He puts his arm to the side and he puts it like this, you know, like this. You are the cross, you know, and this is the middle point. But you have to feel it. It's just like a direction that I'm showing you to where you can find it. But it's not the physical heart. It's not the heart chakra. It's just a field that it's presenting itself right here, and it's just like a subquantum field. And the only way in is not through the mind. That's why we need to divert everybody, diversion from the mind to get into the heart soul essence. It's just an organic field that is so natural, where you are in contact with all of life. So when you have the intention to go into this field, you are multidimensional, because you are connected with all life, and also with all the lives that you are living at the same time. All these parts of you are in this space. So all your knowledge and all your information from all the experience that yourselves have collected are in that space, because you are connected with all life. But I want to tell you, Biba, it's important that you also make a connection with your mother planet before you go into that field. So yeah,
So
because yeah,
how do you, so you don't have to like give all your tips and tools away, but how do you do that? Like, say if I was going to sit in my sofa today and do what you're
yeah, okay. So you need to connect with your heart, soul, essence. We can make it into little pieces. It's your heart. That's the entrance to your soul. The heart, soul, essence, to your essence. So if in my sessions I moved people in the mind from beyond the mind and I put them down to the heart, soul, essence, then I let them pick a beautiful place. So that's what you can do at home. Pick a beautiful place. Just sit down, relax, have the intention to go into your heart, soul, essence, and just pick a beautiful place. That can be anywhere. Maybe you're in the forest, maybe you're on the beach. I don't know what's your beautiful place, but if you're there, just take a moment to sit or just lay down and close your eyes from within. And then you can feel the connection with your mother planet because you want to. You're laying down on her surface, on her body. And then it allows you to go into the relation that you have with your mother planet. She is a living being. So make that connection. Just remember again what it's like to be in relationship with your mother planet. So, and when you do that, you allow yourself to fall deeper and deeper and deeper because it's from the outside we go to the inside. And it's in the quantum healing session, I allow people to go from the outside, from the mind to the planet, to the heart soul essence, and go deeper and deeper and deeper into themselves.
amazing.
You work the same way.
I do, but your level of insight's just blowing me away because you're like, connect to the mother planet, connect to the being of the earth before you go into your multidimensional nature, because her frequency can carry you very deeply within yourself. Like her frequency can reveal everything you need to know. There's something she just holds. We're all portals and she can activate those portals with us.
Yeah.
So when you go into the heart soul essence, does the God matrix live in there? Like, is there any hypnosis, like deep mind control in that zone?
No. No.
So you're free in that place then?
Yeah.
And when you're free in that place, what kind of experiences can you have?
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, Biba, the Matrix is trying all the time.
Tell me.
Yeah. Because it doesn't happen a lot these days anymore, but I had a period of time when people in a session encountered like the eye or the black goo, or they were just like a pinball flippering all over the place, and I just had to snap them out of it and just let them flipper a little bit, just to get the feeling from, okay, now I'm there, then I'm there, then I'm there, like a pinball, it's terrible. So I know they're being played on big time, misleading big time, because every time a client encounters a significant encounter with like a being or the sun, frequently the sun, they're pulled away. They've been pulled away. They go into a tunnel or in a vortex and they're gone. And I know what's happening at that time. I can see, I can feel, and I just know. So I have to bring them back. Let them pinball for a little while and then bring them back. And afterwards, when the session was finished, I asked them, did you feel misled at one point in your session? Or do you feel that you were torn away from the significance of the thing that you needed to see or that you needed to know?
So the sun shows up as like what? So do you mean like the sun is something's pretending to be the sun?
No. The sun is real. In the sessions, the sun is real, but the Matrix does not want you to remember what the sun is. It's also a living being, a consciousness, a soul, and it has a perfect role in this reality. So when I say to you, the sun is in you and you are in the sun, just like you are in the earth and the earth is in you, because we are all fractals, full fractals of this universe. So everything is inside of us. And we are in this reality as a human being. So it's normal to realize that you are a part of the sun and the sun is a part of you. So when people encounter the sun in a session, it's time for them to realize what the sun is and what the relationship is, the co-creative relationship they have together. So that's important.
Oh, it's so important. That's exactly it. So you facilitate the space where they can embody the sun and realize that they are that.
And sometimes the sun just wants you to know that it's there inside of them, and they have to give expression of the energy they're carrying in themselves, in their own reality, in their lives. It has to do with the purpose and the role they are playing in this incarnation. So it's not for everybody, I know, but some clients do get there and they feel the deep, deep, deep connection with the sun and the energy they carry in themselves to give expression in their reality, to help people, or
God, I love the way you talk about your work. It's wonderful. It's very, you're very conscious of every symbol, being, and what it represents. Like, beings come and go in these sessions, but you're very aware of what that being wants, what it's doing, what it's representing, if it's going to enhance this session or if it's there as a distraction. Like, your level of diligence is wonderful.
That is why I needed to go into the path of discernment. I really needed to feel what is real. And it helps me a lot in my sessions, because I only want what's real in this point in my life.
Yeah. And so when you have your own hypnosis, when you go into your own heart soul essence with a facilitator through multidimensional hypnotherapy, what are your experiences like?
Well, I have to say that the mind control is very strong, and that's what I'm feeling also. So you can say that for the last 3 months, I find it more difficult to connect to my heart soul essence. But I just told everybody it's so simple that even when I think I'm not there, I am there because I want to. And sometimes I can feel so intense that I am that creator being, that I want to create, for example, like something on LinkedIn. I just put on a post there and I felt it from my heart soul essence. And I put it out there and it's just like 1,000 views and like 80,000 people saw that post. And the next day I posted another thing, but I didn't feel it from my heart soul essence. So it was like 12 people. So, you can have the intention to, today I'm going to write, I'm going to put it down. But where is it coming from? Is it mostly ego-based? But once in a while, you go into that natural state of being in the heart soul essence, and you can feel you're the creator being, and you put the post out there, and boom, it explodes. So then I know, okay, so this is what it feels like when you're really working from the heart soul essence and when you're working from the ego construct.
Very different.
Yeah.
And also, you can't make yourself be in the heart. Like, you can't say, well, I'm going to post from my heart soul essence. Like, you have to become your own essence. You have to become your own unique energy expression, knowing that you're posting this for nothing else, just for assisting somebody who's going to see it.
Yeah.
Because if I post something to get something back, that's from your mind.
Yeah. It's not working.
The mind wants payback.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wants something in return.
Yeah.
Heart soul it's not looking for anything because it is everything.
Yeah.
It is complete.
Yeah. So it takes some practice.
So stay with you if you don't mind. If it's personal, it's okay. You're aware, very much aware of the mind control programs when you go into hypnosis. How do you navigate that? Can you navigate it?
Whew, okay. I use the word bullshit meter. And for some reason, mine is on. From the moment I was born, it's on.
No shit.
No shit. It's always there. So during a session, it's no difference. I just know. And because the discernment is in my foundation so deeply, it comes naturally. And I get the chance to ask questions to the client when they're in the session about what's happening. And that's fun. They don't know. They do not realize that I'm on to something, but I'm just like Captain Picard. I want to explore everything then, okay? Just to make sure I'm in a natural field of love and life and not in the matrix construct. You know, Biba, a lot of people still have their chakras, their kundalini and the pineapple active, really active.
Yeah.
And mine are complete. I made closure on the contract I made when I came into this universe with my chakra system and kundalini and pineapple, because it's all in the matrix construct. It's just like an overlay. It's there. It's controlling everything we feel, everything we see, everything we experience. It's just you're constantly in like a bliss state of mind. And I know a lot of my clients still work with chakras and the pineapple. And with me, they do not get the chance because it just, in Dutch, we say it goes flat into the wall. It smashes to the wall and it's gone. They don't have the bliss in my sessions. It's just,
I want you to, a lot of people won't have ever heard what you're talking about because the energy centers and the chakra systems is built into everything.
mm-hmm.
It's in everything, and any spiritual awareness books on everything. It's just part of, it's like saying, well, you can't make bread without flour. It's kind of like it's just in everything. So what are the chakras then?
Well, it's not natural, that's for one. And the matrix construct is using it to keep you in this reality, in the hologram of the gods.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Oh, it's a big topic. It's a big topic.
Well, stay with the energy centers, the chakras. So the hologram of the gods, start with the matrix. What is the matrix?
Yeah, what's the matrix? It's a hologram of the gods who provide from the devotion that we give them. You know, it's a system, it's a synthetic world in this part of the universe that we are all in at this point in time. It's the cosmic arena. And it's nothing natural about it. The only thing that is natural are we as full fractals of this universe and Mother Earth and the sun and the solar system, you know? That's real. It's not that we live in a hologram, no. It's just like a synthetic overlay they put over the natural way of life.
So, okay, so stay there because it's very good. So over the natural way of life, there's a hologram. So within this hologram of the gods, where do the energy centers, the chakras fit into that? And the pineal gland and the kundalini, where are they positioned within all of that?
Yeah, okay, the pineapple is right here, you know, your third eye. They call it your third eye. And the chakra systems, they go all the way through your body. It's not a natural thing. From our essence, we do not have chakra systems. It's just an overlay they created to manipulate us in the spiritual realms, in spirituality, in the narratives, in the new age. It's all there. And there's nothing natural about it. It's just something they created to get our devotion, our energy, and get us to keep us away from who we really are.
So some people will say, right, well, I've worked on my first 3 energy centers and I've gotten rid of my trauma and now I'm based in my heart. So my heart chakra was really open and I can connect to the earth and the trees. And when I go and ground myself, I'm connecting to the being of the earth. Then we go into the 8th energy center, which is opening a portal into those dimensions where all those beings are. Tell me about give me a wider perspective of these layers and dimensions of beings and entities, and tell me a little bit about what your awareness is of that. No holding back here, Sonja.
Well, it's all in this this cosmic arena is big. It's a really big place. And I guess scientists see the outside of this matrix as the top of this universe. And that's not true, because if you take this whole universe, the cosmic arena, the matrix is just a small part. And we needed to, we created it all together, the matrix, you know, it's just as it is. It's not something that they built for us to keep us prisoned. No, we all created the matrix. But in some point of time, all the gods who are responsible for all the experience that we have in the religion, for example, forgot who they really are. So here we are in the God matrix. And this system is built to keep you as far away from yourself as possible.
So we want to stay more in the natural and less of the synthetic, but you're just giving people a little bit of an understanding of, you're saying I've walked away from the chakra systems. So start off, Sonja, give me a little bit of an understanding about why did you decide to step off the platform of energy center, chakra system, pineal glands, and the third eye, the kundalini? Why did you do that? And when you stepped away from that, what is your experience like?
Okay, we go back to 2021 again. And I could be in two worlds, you know, but in the other world where I met information from George, I discovered that in the other world that I was in with the chakra, the pineapple, and there was no kundalini at the time, but the ascended masters and the angels she was working with, it gave me an internal conflict, because I wanted what was real and I didn't want the misleading and deception anymore. So when both worlds come together, I realized what the fuck is going on, because this is a synthetic version, and I get the bliss and I get a loving feeling, and in the other world there is no such thing. So what was really happening was that I discovered that it was a big lie, and I didn't need to be in the bliss all the time, because it was a big deception. So in the other world, there was information about completing the contracts with the chakra system, with the pineapple system, and with the kundalini system, but also the technical intelligence God and the God matrix. So I find that very interesting, because I was in two worlds. In one world, it was all there, and in the other world, you had to complete it. So I decided to experience what it would be like if I go into a state of mind and not feel the bliss anymore. So I went to in the Netherlands to somebody who gave the course of transcending the God matrix, just like George is doing. Yeah, Biba, you go back into your multidimensional state of being, and you call out the God matrix in your organic field, and you call out the chakra systems, the pineapple, and the kundalini, and you say, as a multidimensional being, I've experienced everything that needs to be experienced and felt, but I'm at this point in time, I want to not break the contracts. No, it's not about breaking the contracts. It's about completing it and make closure on it. So I did all that, and I did it like twice, because the second time I really wanted to feel, because it was a few years later, what it would be like when I had more knowledge, I had more wisdom, and go into that field again and take a look if there was anything left of the contract. And there was nothing. It was all gone. So I cleaned up all my mess. The mess I made, I needed to clean up. And the mess the God Matrix made, I gave it back to him, you know, because there's always something for yourself to see or go through and clean it up.
Yeah. So did you notice how did things change when you did that?
Yeah, significantly.
Really?
Significantly, yeah. I didn't feel anything anymore for a long time.
No feeling?
No feelings, no. If I went into meditation, I didn't feel anything. I didn't go anywhere. It was gone. It was so quiet. And I feel that I was like in a natural way of life and nothing stick on me. There was nothing to stick on me from the matrix when they tried. It wasn't there. So it felt a little bit lonely in the beginning, because if you are in the bliss all the time and you see the magic happen in the new age world and you make completion on transcending the God matrix, wow, there's nothing left anymore. So if you feel like, do I have a gap? Do I have a gap? Do I need to feel that gap? I need to fill that gap with whatever. It wasn't there. There was no gap. I did not feel the urge to, go into cards or tarot or going to podcasts in meditations, because I didn't have a gap anymore that needed to be filled. There was no devotion. It was gone from the God matrix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a big difference, but it's a little bit quiet it's quiet. There's no noise. There's nothing pulling on you. It will try, of course, but you can recognize it then.
So, no, I'm hearing thoughts of people listening.
Yeah.
And one of the thoughts is, why would you give up bliss to feel lonely?
Yeah. Because I really want to know myself without any distortions. I want to be able to be in a field where there's nothing and I'm there. So there's no knocking on the door from an angel who gives me a good feeling when I'm feeling so sad. No, I have to go through it myself, with myself.
And what's that like? What's the benefit of that? If people like benefits, right? So why would I not want the help of an angel when I feel so lonely? Like, what's it like being outside of the God matrix?
Well, first of all, I'm still in this world, but I'm not off this world. It's not getting a very tight grip of me anymore. Sometimes it will try, and when I let my guard down, it's there. Okay, I'm being honest, because you can never be. Yeah, we're still under mind control. That's a fact. So we're still in the matrix. But it's just like, well, at first, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like, is this my life? Is this what it's all about then? I don't like it. I don't like it. So you have the urge to search for things to fill you. It's like an addiction. That's it. It's an addiction. The chakra systems, the kundalini, the pineapple, it's like an addiction. And you do not have the addiction anymore, but your mind is saying you're missing something. So you want to fill that gap, the big hole in yourself. And then you realize there is no big hole.
Yeah.
There is no big hole. I'm just feeling lonely because I let go of everything that filled me up from the outside. And I need to fill myself from the inside to feel good, to give myself a place in this world again. We're talking about big things here.
When you were talking, it was like listening to my own story. I've never heard anybody articulate it before, ever. You're the first person who's ever articulated that transition. And I was the same. I was like, what's the point in being here? This is so flat.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
boring.
Yeah, boring. Yeah.
Nothing stimulating. And in that space, that's the arena that they're watching you in that arena to see how long you're going to last with yourself without all the candy. Cosmic candy,
cosmic
right?
candy. Yes. Yeah.
Great word.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, because this is in limbo. What you're saying is now in limbo, which means, why would you do that? Because for me, and I don't want to make this conversation about me, but I just want to say this. I spent my life in devotion and loving and contact and just feeling blissed and good and loved. I was feeding off it and it was feeding off me. And that's okay, right? That's okay. However, it took me 2 years to decide to step away from that. It took me 2 years to be willing, contemplating every day. But after 2 years, I was like, right, I got to grow up. My soul, I got to grow up. And I don't need someone to hold my hand. I instantly had power. It was like power. It was like boom. It's like I was empowered and my soul was sovereign to itself in a way I've never experienced. I will never, ever, ever give my power or my devotion to anything other than myself, my own, the divine nature of, and the magnificence of the soul and its journey. That's it.
That's self-love.
Yeah, that's where we're going with this.
Yeah. It's all about loving yourself and really be happy with yourself. So, Biba, you don't go to anybody for information because you felt that boom and there something happened there in that specific moment in yourself. You just gain access to more knowledge and wisdom than anybody could give you. You just knew, you felt it.
Like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's vitally important also for when you leave your body. You're not still in the arenas of matrices and holograms and loved ones and like.
No.
People think it's just for this time in their life. No, this is your soul's journey. So I want to come back to you. I want to ask you, when you went through that testing period of stillness, what then began to emerge from that?
Well, all the teams I wanted to work at as my soul presented themselves in big time. In my work, in my relationship with my family, it exploded. Yeah. So
did you say all of the teams?
Teams, yeah.
What do you mean by teams? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I looked that word up because Trey also said, "What are teams?" It's I don't. There's no other word for it. This is English.
Is it people or beings or ideas?
No. You want to experience things in your life. Your soul wants to have things they present themselves like processes, a process. Maybe that's a better word. So it just blew up in my life. All the processes that I needed to work on. It's just like it was too much. It was really too much, but it was, yeah, with my father, I had a big argument. I didn't speak with him for like a year. Yeah, in my relationship, I really wanted to pack my bags and just go to be by myself. Then I wanted to be alone. Leave me alone. I can do it. I can do this. I can do it all alone. I'm still with my husband, by the way, but I never left. But there were big processes I needed to feel and to experience in my work also. And it all led to one thing: be authentic. I was coming authentic. I was going to be more authentic than I've ever been in my life. I needed to pick me, put me first, and I didn't want to please anybody anymore. So yeah, I didn't speak to my father for like a year, but I was true to myself and the information and the knowledge that I had. And in my work, I quit, but there were some processes I still needed to go through fully with my heart, with my head, with my body. And then it knocked me down to get me to a point when I could say, okay, this isn't working anymore. I completed my processes. I can make closure on my processes, because that is so important. That are such big keys you are holding in your hand when you go through the processes and you make closure, really closure. with your family, with your work, in your relationship, and then you can move on to the next deeper level. It's all about closure.
It's worth it, isn't it?
It's so worth it, Biba. It's so worth it. Yeah.
It's worth it, all of it.
All of it. And I think we are up for it. We were up for it. Our souls know the timing to present all these big issues, these processes to go through, and then make closure. Because we all need closure. Otherwise, your soul will present the same things over and over and over again.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, yeah, but it serves a big goal. Your soul knows what it's doing. So start listening. Just start listening, because your soul is bringing all of you back home. And your stubborn ego, who thinks it knows, it doesn't know anything. It's funny because the ego, we need the ego, but when you identify yourself with your ego instead of your soul.
So when you got your soul sovereignty and you made a conscious decision to have soul sovereignty and live from your heart soul space, connected to the being of the earth, connecting to this universe that we're in, the natural, organic, the real light, not the counterfeit version of light.
No.
And you went through that almost like a ghost train of time where it was just nothing made sense. It was all, you felt lonely, and there was a lot of space came available, and you started to get a new level of discernment about your relationships and your place in the world. And then you became more available to you. Your authentic self became more accessible to you because there's space for it to be here. And then when you are living from your authentic self, like, what's your life like now because of the self-love and the level of authenticity that you're functioning?
I could say it's great, really. But it comes with ups and downs, because I experience my body, my vessel, as like an 80-year-old vessel. It's hard, I feel everything. I'm so tuned into my body, into my own energy, that I feel when there's a hair sitting wrong on my head, I can feel it. So everything my body is going through, I'm going through. But now I take the time to talk to my body and just say, okay, you have information, tell me. But I can go to bed and sleep for like 10 hours, Biba. Yeah, last night, I slept for 10 hours because I have a little cold right now. But I slept for 10 hours and then I wake up. I'm like, what the fuck just hit me? The more you go to your authentic self and you let go of all the lush and all the bliss, nothing is feeding you anymore. So you need to go into nature. You need to connect with your mother planet, but she's also in pain, So I feel everything. But it's different because the system is not supplying me anymore with food and energy. So yeah, I feel like 80 years old because I'm not plugged in anymore. I'm not blissed all the time, all the fucking day. I'm just feeling what needs to be feel. You know what I mean?
You're feeling what needs to be felt. So
I need to be felt. Yeah.
You're processing a lot of stuff. How are you going to this body? So you're not a body, but you have a body, and your body is your avatar. You're a beautiful sentient being in its own right. How are you navigating the I don't like that word anymore. How are you integrating the hit on the body? It's being hit.
Yeah.
Feeling old, like old. That's out of context because you're a young woman. How are you? What's happening?
Yeah. I think it's all about accepting in the transition we're in. So when you need to take a nap, take a nap. When you do not want to exercise, do not exercise. Your mind is telling you, you have to go sports. I said, no, I have to listen to my body. So that's a different thing also, because I had a good drive, I was fanatic in sports and all day, every day. And I needed to learn to listen to my body. What does my body need? So instead of my body is carrying me, I'm now in co-creation with my body. We work together. And my mind is giving me a bad feeling when I didn't exercise this morning. But that's my mind, you know? And I get it. So just accepting things are the way they are. But I really have to work hard to feel. I just want to feel life, and I want to feel alive. And that's difficult. That's a difficult thing these days, to get joy. Yeah, because all the things you're feeling, everything is coming into this realm. Information, vibration, everything is there. How do you from everything that's coming in, because our body is changing, the earth is changing, so your body is changing too. I'm riding on her waves, so she is me, I'm her, so I'm feeling everything, and just have to accept this is the way it is. I do not have a job, I'm not working in the Navy anymore, so there's no stress. I do not have to pay the bills because my husband is paying the bills. It's all perfect the way it is. So I'm enjoying the little things that I gained for myself. I profit for myself by doing the hard work.
There's a lot of dignity and honor in what you're talking. Multidimensional level. There's a lot of you're freeing your soul from the grips of its illusions, and you're also enabling people to be pulled out of the matrix. So you're not working. Every time I speak to you, you're telling me about a client you just had. So up in that beautiful room you have, you are unplugging really people from the matrix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard work. Yeah,
it's very hard work. And when you were talking there, I just feel that like your body is recovering. Actually, it's recovering. It's exhausted because of what it's been through. You've given it permission to release everything.
Yeah.
So the body and you can release a trauma or you can clear out a lot of stuff, but the body has to catch up on a cellular level. It's not just instant. Sometimes healing takes time. And as you said, the earth is going through in her own frequency shift. We're going through a frequency shift. We're together and individually. And then you're able to process and become all of that. But also your body is just recovering from probably hardcore training in the military, but also all of the programs and the resonant frequencies of the programs. Because like you last year, my body, I just said to my mom, I feel like ancient, physically ancient. I feel like I've come back from a rave after an hour of waking up. Like I feel wrecked. And she said, you need to rest, rest, rest. She saw it. She said, you're exhausted from just everything. It's just the awareness, this multidimensional nature and the awareness isn't just like it's energy work.
Mm-hmm.
It's energy, and some of us get hit harder than others. So with the work that you do, you've created, which I've piggybacked on your idea, which I think is wonderful, is the 3-session deep dive. So you went from doing 1 sessions to bringing it into 3. Explain to me a little bit about how that works and why did you develop a very short space of time program for working with someone's soul?
Well, it's all about the timing again and listening to what your soul is presenting. And I found out that 1 session is not a session, because people go into the rat race, into the 3D, 4D life in the system, and they forget all about what they experience and the insight that they get from the session. So to give people the chance to make it a way of life, because they only want to remember who they are and why they are here, and make it a way of life, is to provide a 3 session. So the first session, it's all about experience what it's like to go under hypnosis or in that state of consciousness. And the second session, they go deeper, because in the first session, probably they get some insights about programs and convictions and about things that are holding them back. And in the second session, they can go more inside, deeper, to see what's really going on. Because we have to remember, Biba, that you can get what you can, I'm not sure how to say it, but in Dutch it's easy. Your soul, your subconsciousness is giving you the things that you can carry, that you can handle. So in the first session, a lot of things happen, but it's like a superficial insight. And in the second session, they go deeper because the expansion of the awareness it's much greater than. And in the third session, they go boom, they go all open, they go confident into the chair and say, come on, bring it on, because I have no questions anymore. I just want to see what's happening. So what's happening then is then the soul presents themselves and they see everything so clearly. So if you give the client just one session, it's the top of the iceberg, and you can go much deeper to the core of your essence, and they go like, wow, this is what I needed. The third session always provides the client what they really, really need to make the steps into their lives, to take the path, to make decisions. And they can see clearly now. I can see clearly now. Now, really, it's amazing. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. So anyone who's listening, it's not about a practitioner having 3 sessions with someone.
No.
What you've got to understand is your awareness takes time to be expanded. For a lot of people, because some people are very aware of their multidimensional self, and one session, man, they're flying.
Yeah.
A lot of people who aren't practiced at expanding into the awareness, the one session, it's like this, more time you have in there, the more you can expand. So in the beginning, you're curious and you have questions and you want to speak to your soul and the QHHT, that's great. But then there's the trauma that shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to clean that up. And then there's that multidimensional aspect, and then integrating everything in. So it's really, it's not about somebody wanting to have 3 sessions. It's about, this is always about you, your level of exploration, and no practitioner can push you beyond and say, well, we squeeze it into one.
No.
It's like you can't teach a cat how to eat with a knife and fork. You can't teach a baby how to eat a steak. You got to just bring it in.
Yeah, easy.
It's an integration level. And so it's different for everyone, but a high majority of people who aren't aware of their multidimensional nature, I think that this is, had I have come across this before I've done my own self-discovery, I would have said, I'm in.
Yeah.
Someone like you, like, I'm in, because if you can co-pilot my experience with me, and through your expertise and your own wisdom and your own understanding, like, it's invaluable, because I've spent my whole life, like you, my soul will show me what I need to know.
Mm.
And what came to me was I had to do everything by myself, for myself. But if someone's out there and they're just ready, you've got to be ready.
You got to be ready.
They're just like, yeah, I want to know. I want to know what I'm doing here, what I am. And I think it's a very, very beautiful thing that you're offering, not necessarily easy, but it's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. It's going to cost you tearing down all of your belief systems.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what's on the other side of that is love.
Yeah.
Real love of the self. And then when you have love of the self, this universe becomes pliable to you, because you're standing in your authentic position as a creator being, in full knowledge of what it is and where it is, and full knowledge for that moment of time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps when we leave this universe, we'll have a much wider scope of what's going on.
Yeah.
But as much as we can carry in this human vessel, this human vessel can't contain 100 watts. If it's a 60-watt bulb, I can't put 100 watts of electricity through a 60-watt bulb. It will smash the bulb. But I can put 100 watts of electricity through a 100-watt glass bulb.
Yeah.
It's built for that.
Yeah.
And so this is a process of discovery, of moving in and letting go. And it's almost like birds letting go of their feathers. It's just you're merging into something new, and that is a process. And so you're offering, and myself as well, the process of that. And you can do it by yourself. But here's the thing with that, and I think you should try to do it by yourself. What you're going to find is, I'm making this up. This isn't real, but I'm on my own. The mind will go,
Yeah.
trickety trick.
Yeah. I tried it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But there's nobody to ask you questions, so you get stuck at one point and you get bored because it's no fun doing it alone. But we need to realize that this is not a new way of a religion we are creating. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm helping people just to remember the relationship with themselves, with this mother planet, this place we're in, the collective, cosmic, whatever, and then let go. Because when all the knowledge and all the wisdom from all aspects of ourselves reveal themselves to balance the shadow and the light sides of all the experience we had as a human or a collective of cosmic being, then you're on your own. But we're not there yet. So
tell me a bit about that. Like, where is all this going?
Yeah. Well, we talked about the body and how tired our body is. Well, everything is integrating also. All the parts of ourselves as a multi-dimensional being is coming home. That's why this avatar is built the way it is. We are a full fractal of this universe, so we are able to restore everything we have in this whole universe, in this avatar, without dying. It's coming home. So when you do the work and you go into a session and you have an encounter with a part of yourself, because it's no past life, it's just a life. It's just an aspect of you having a life in another time, in another realm, in another reality. But it's happening at the same time. And when you have like a little bit of chat with that person or that entity or being that you are in this or in that time space, you're integrating all the information, all the knowledge, all the wisdom that's also happening. And I'm not saying that you have to do multiple sessions, like 100, to gain all your aspects with all the knowledge and wisdom. No, it's happening as we're speaking right now, Biba. So it doesn't take any work. But for your incarnation here right now, when you need specific information that's important for you to do the things that you need to do, then a session is very important, because there's so much information in yourself that will help you to fulfill your purpose, why you are here right now.
Yeah. And then you have a purpose, as opposed to go, well, I don't know what my goal, I don't have goals. Like, what is a goal? I've never had a goal in my life. Well, maybe like whatever, but not really. I think it helps put you on a beautiful track of your soul. And what does your soul really, where's it going? And then so you're in sync with that. You're in alignment with that. And that alignment brings relief.
Yeah.
Breathe better. You're not worried about what your parents say or what your partner says or what society says. You're just going, I just didn't have the courage to do it. Well, why not? Because I was told I was never good enough. So let's go rewind to that moment. You weren't good enough. Let's recalibrate that. And then, so now you know you're good enough. So isn't it just tweaking?
All the time. All the time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, briefly. I only listened to the first 15 minutes, but it was a scientist talking about quantum reality. And he was saying that the body, because it's in relation to what you're saying, scientist, this incredible quantum scientist, he said that your body is a whole unit, let's say, in your body. And within your body is the whole, it's like a magic walking thing. And inside of your body, every cell in your body is a fractal of the whole body. So every cell contains the memory. It's fractals. There's millions of fractals that make up your whole body. So a cell contains the whole body. So each fractal Each cell is like a fractal that contains the whole. So when a part of your body is sick, all the other fractals, all the other cells are holding wholeness. It's all about thoughts.
Wow.
And so when you're talking about we are a fractal of the universe, that's exactly it. Within us is the entire universe. So we are multidimensional. And you talk about if people are into dimensions and layers and realities and all these millions of words we have to try and articulate this experience, but we are all of that. So when you're being manipulated, or there's a distortion in your reality, or someone was sexually abused, they have a distortion with sex and intimacy. There's a threat there. Your original essence holds purity in love. And it's about connecting to that aspect of yourself, because all of your cells, remember that. There's a part of you that was interfered with. However, all the other parts of you can, it's almost like a cell, how they take metal out of the body is the cell will envelop the metal and take it out of the heavy metals and take it out. All the other aspects of you will take out that trauma. And so just tell me a little bit about this universe. What is this universe?
You are a universe also. Did you know that? You knew that. So, yeah. I see it this way. We live outside this universe. This universe is just a creator being like you and me as we zoom out, because outside this universe, in the omniverse, we are all universes. That's how big we are, and probably even bigger than that and bigger than that and bigger than that. But we just are happy beings, we just want to explore and have fun and create life. That's what we do. We are creator beings. We create life. So this universe just opened its doors and it's just saying, okay, I'm the universe of light. Do you want to come in? You want to have an experience in what it's like to be me? And I said, yeah, I would love to. What's the deal? So the deal, there are conditions and there are contracts. Yeah, I know, but I'm at the end of my journey in this big, big loving universe. And this universe is equal to me and I'm equal to this universe because we are taking this journey together. The universe just compressed itself to the female energy like this earth, or compressed itself to be the male energy like the sun in this solar system, just to be here with me in this dense compression. That's how equal we are. And I find that very loving and caring and safe space for me to be, because the universe is here also, in that compressed version of the earth. So what is this universe? It's a magical being. It's just the universe of light who wants to have the experience itself also, like what's it like to have duality, what's it like to have polarity, what's it like to feel so cut off from who I really am, from my essence. And here we are experiencing all of that. And as a human species right now on this mother planet, we are here at, it's not the bottom of this universe. That's not true. It's the outer side of this universe. And here we are experiencing what it's like to be in such duality that it's breaking people apart. But this is also the end. When you integrate all the experience, shadow, light, put it back into balance, because we've been it all, Biba. We've been it all. The good, the bad, the big, the small, everything. And we're bringing it into unity. We're bringing it into unity. And this is all happening in this time, in space, in this reality, in this body. This is how big we are. We need to compress so dense, so little, just to be in this tiny form. But this tiny form is the biggest form that I know, because it contains the fucking universe. You have to flip it around, turn it around, because you're so small. No, I'm so big. So that's it.
So that's what you mean when you say you are a fractal of the whole universe. So within me and within you in this moment contains all of this universe, and that's all of the galaxies, all of the stars, all of the ET races, all of the stories, all of the consciousnesses that's in this, all the separate consciousness and the unity consciousness and the programs and the freedom. It's all in us.
Yeah.
So when you say, well, life is boring,
it's not easy. No.
There's a lot you can plug into and plug out from at the same time. And thank you so much for your time and your input. And yeah, I love knowing you. I just love knowing you and bouncing off you with ideas. And myself and you have come up with a plan that I'm sure will kick off, of where we take each other through sessions and explore this universe together. And we'll share those sessions online with people. Our plan is to facilitate each other and to keep that as open source information for helping people understand what's beyond the God matrix and the matrix of the arena of the gods and all of that stuff. And, you know, there's other games we can play.
Oh, yeah, we can. I'm so excited to do that with you.
And create new ones, you know. I mean, I don't want to read another ancient text. You know, I was done with that 10 years ago. I was like, there has to be other information. This is it's just so regurgitated, like, and I go, that's a slinky one, isn't it? It's slinky.
This is Benjamin.
Benjamin, I think you're the favorite, Benji, are you? Oh, you know it. Green eyes and a green collar. Oh, yeah, I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
He loves. No, I love you. And I'm looking forward to do a session with you because, you know, you are the one for me where I want to go to when I want to explore this universe and I want to explore my inner verse, because you have the knowledge and you have the wisdom also. So.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah,
You're
ready.
I'm ready. I did last session I booked in with a lady who I don't know, but I've had a session with her before. We know nothing about each other. We don't talk beforehand, but she carries a frequency of 0 point convergence. Like it's just neutral. She's neutral.
Okay.
And so she's neutral. So because she's neutral, I can travel. I'm not like you. I can tune into people and there's just too much information coming from the person for me to let go. And so when we plug in together to do this work, I know that we will have some really nice explorations of consciousness and hopefully bring about some information that we can talk about on podcasts as well, you know, new information. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I'm all in for new information. Yes.
So am I. So if two of us hold that intention, well then two creator beings holding that intention.
It's happening.
Thank you so much.
Signing off.
Signing off.
Thanks, Beep. Oh.